And plenty of Richmond fans thought they had a chance against the Pies, with Collingwood's injury list growing, and there was another one today, Glenn Sanford coming into the selected side, replacing Jason McCartney. After the first quarter, there was hardly anything in it. The Tigers 2-5-17, leading Collingwood 1-3-9. We pick it up at the start of the second quarter. Hope you enjoy it.
Start of the second term. 2-5-1-3 here. Very willing opening quarter. Moncourse wins the tap. Brown held up by Knights, gets a oh no, free kick against Brown, holding the footy. Deer again in the walls. He's had some stitches in his head, about half a dozen, Dipper reckons.
Good sign for Richmond, not a player in their defensive half. They've all moved down trying to make ample options.
Knights to full forward. Chance for Miranda, is it Murphy rather? And it's a Butler, out of bounds. His first touch today. Yes, that was amazing, Gerard. The whole of the Richmond backline came streaming down.
Well, the coaches do look at handball receive stats on that half back line, and that's what the coach would have asked for, John Northey. I want plenty of run out of defence, and it's always a good sign as to how the club's going.
Well, Edwards a long kick, but he's gone across to Gale, who's about 60 metres out. And it looks like they're going to long bomb here.
No one on the mark.
Gale goes for goal. Gets it right to the square. Murphy front spot. Francisco. Watson held on to. No free kick. Yes, it is. Gets it in the back pocket, so the Tigers going all right.
Well, as we said, Murphy kicked 4 goals, 5 goals in debut last week, but I am told he is a very good high mark. It will be difficult in these blustery conditions.
Yes, it looks very much as though he's got that concern, Gerard. Even watching him in the first quarter, he got near the football a few times, but for a young man, these conditions in his second match are a little bit difficult at this stage. Gale doing the ruck work, tries to get it down to Knights, but it's Broderick. Gets it through to Brendan Gale, back to Knights. Good combination by the Tigers. Matthew Knights kicks loose off the side of his boot. Oh, well done. Murphy marked, but in turn gave the free kick away. Well, Krasiska takes it, gets it to Watson. Watson goes down towards the wing. In front, good mark taken by Sanford in front of Johnny Howard. Goes for the further option in Christian. Christian's little left foot kick looks there for Bradley Plain. Free kick has been awarded against Wayne Campbell, and Bradley Plain will take it in the centre of the ground. Plain goes to the left-hand side of the ground. Out there is Rocker leading. Didn't touch the football in the first quarter. Taken away by Turner. Gets his foot to the ball very quickly. Important that. One-on-one out there between Free and McGuan. In to help out Kerrison. Spins out of trouble. Bats himself, runs away. Handball Christian in all sorts of trouble. You must be penalised.
Oh, that's a good decision. He didn't have an opportunity to get rid of it. He was pinned as soon as he took possession of the ball. What do you think, Robert?
You're the expert. I'll leave it in your capable hands, Gerard.
I'm not saying I agree with the rule. I think if you're outpinned, there should be a reward for the perfect tackle, but that's the way the umpires interpret it.
Well, I guess it's up to the individual, and there's 3 central umpires now, and that does cause a little bit of concern for the fans watching a game, that they've all got different interpretations. Moncourse couldn't get away with the football. Mickey McGuan tackle on Free. Callaway tries to get it out there for Daffy. Daffy held onto his opponent, which was Kerrison, when he didn't have the football. Nathan Buckley trying to get the advantage rule paid.
No, it's the other way, Robert. Dropping the footy, Kerrison.
Well, there you go. And it's Daffy who'll take the free kick, and he kicks it into the right forward pocket for the Tigers. Brendan Gale in front of Houlihan has taken his 3rd mark. He's in the right forward pocket, 50 metres from goal. And he kicks it to the front of the square. Good mark taken by Edwards. Leading out into that position, which certainly must make it easier for him to kick a goal if he's out in front.
And Graham Wright just stood back and allowed Edwards to come through. You'll probably pick it up on screen here. I think the wind baffled him a little bit. There he is there. The wind just ducked away at the last minute. If he had gone flat out, he would have taken it on the chest.
Edwards from 25 metres directly in front, kicks for goal, and the Tigers have got their 3rd. Stuart Edwards kicks his first goal, and Richmond lead by 14 points, 3-5. 1-3.
And 8 scoring shots to 4 indicates probably just how well Richmond are going. And I'm very impressed with this player. You can see his right knee heavily bandaged. That's where he had the tendonitis.
(3-5-1-3). Ryan to Buckley. Kick under pressure. Well played by Howard. The thumper back Kellaway. He did a good job on Buckley in the opening term. Tape and a ball up.
Once again we saw Nathan Buckley. It was his first kick of the afternoon. It wasn't fantastic. Last week I watched him against the Crows, and out of 28 possessions, his first 8 I would thought would have gone nowhere. Something I think for a player of his immense foot skills has to look at.
Sanford went with Deer. Shaw got a high kick out. Back to half forward. Richmond with some numbers. Francis roved well. Another high kick. Carbon copy of Shaw's. Turner pushed out free kick. He's giving Rocker an old-fashioned bath at the moment. Early days, I know.
What's the difference between an old-fashioned bath and a new bath?
No idea. Just sort of sounded right. Felt like a cliche. Turner out wide. Gale. Houlihan. Ripped it off him. Free kick to Gale.
That was a bit soft. That's a bit ordinary.
Gale from half-back. Centre wing. Edwards. Christian. Shaw dropped it. Free kick. High tackle the first one. Next goal pretty important, I reckon, Gerard. One way or the other. The Tigers have got a little break here and going all right, aren't they?
Certainly served notice to Collingwood that they mean business.
Maxfield. And you reckon that this is their big chance to make a move in this season. Lose today, they're an also-ran. Win today, and they've got some sort of hope with a final 8. And they've given themselves a chance at 3-5 to 1-3. Early days, I know, in this game. Daffy's kick, Christian. Let's see if they can keep going. Moncourse. Bond runs at it hard. James, Maxfield. Howard, handball good. Free. Murphy at the back. Krasiska at the front. Play on call. Well played, Krasiska. A bit too easy. Out wide, here's the chance Collingwood have been looking for.
Graham right on his own has got 15 or 20 metres in front of himself. The second bounce didn't come back to him quite as much as he expected. Then the kick into the pocket too far. Moncourse lumbering after it. The ball rolls away from Damien Moncourse over for a boundary throw-in.
Once again, the wind playing havoc with those precision passes, and perhaps a long bomb into Severio would have been a better option.
Well, the ruckmen go at it. This time it is Rocker and Deer. Campbell gets the hand pass to Maxfield. Well done. That's a free kick to Bradley Plain. Well, I thought he dragged him down quite fairly, and the umpire not prepared to give the kick up. Underneath all that is tape, and surely Collingwood supporters have got every reason there to... Bradley Plain's tackle was pretty good. Here's Maxfield with the ball. He gets caught red-handed, doesn't get rid of it, dragged to the ground, then throws it onto his left boot. Well, you can think yourself very, very fortunate. Free's hand pass was blocked, rebounded back to Bond, away to Kellaway, in turn to Free. Tony Free now, his kick goes in towards half forward. Good mark, Watson. Excellent mark.
Playing well, Watson.
Well, he's a very good defender, a state player. His kick goes towards half forward. High flyer and too early. Richmond player, could have been Rogers, was it? Campbell, and the free kick to Monkhorst.
55 metres out, Rocker provides a lead. Monkhorst then goes to the goal square. James Maxfield, Rocker, big fly, big grab, he's got it.
And look at Houlihan at the bottom of the screen there, Bruce. He's run all the way from full back or centre half back where he is picking up Brendan Gale to present himself. He didn't end up with a football because of this terrific mark from Big Sav. But that's the sort of running that Lee Matthews would be looking for from his half-back line.
He kicked 10 in the match last year at the MCG against the two teams when Richmond led by 6 goals at one stage. He's kicked his first.
Well, Rocker kicks his first goal with his first kick for the game. Deer and Monkhorst, 12 minutes left in the second quarter. Monkhorst has had the better of the centre bounces. Campbell gets it back, Bond in trouble. Really, Wayne Campbell probably put him under the pressure that he didn't want there. Collingwood players swarming onto Chris Bond.
What a great tackle from Bradley Plain, though.
Yes, I
Dragging
guess
down.
you can give away a free kick if you've got the momentum up, but his was excellent. 50 metres now from the Collingwood goal. Goes back to Howard. Howard gets his left foot to it. Kicks it wide. Bouncing close to the boundary line. And nothing much there that Rogers could do. So we'll have a boundary throw in on centre wing. It's just forward of centre wing. Knights and McGuan having a little bit of a tete-a-tete off the ball there.
Rogers been shifted, has he, Gerard? I think he might have.
Yes, he has, and Bauer's come onto the half-forward flank. He's getting picked up by Watson.
Well, Matthew Knight sucked in there. McGuan's free kick. And Mickey looking for 50 after Greg Deere threw it a bit hard, but not 50 coming. McGuan from centre wing. Collingwood getting some steam up suddenly in this match. Rocker. Well done, Turner. Howard, Buckley. Kellaway's been terrific. Back on into Monkhorst. To Houlihan from 45 metres. Left foot. Turner. Rocker. Rush through from behind. 2-4 to 3-5.
Bradley Plain coming off the ground.
He's injured, Gerard, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Brenton Sanderson getting his first run for the afternoon. Once again, we see Houlihan getting a kick across half-forward.
Turner to Howard. Through centre half-back. Floating kick. Naish. Oh, good. Well, free kick. Has to be. It's about to 75 metres from goal. Murphy in the square. Edwards back there. Gale looking for it at centre half-forward. Which way will Naish go? High ball, wanting Gale, I guess. He's in the middle. Comes to ground, Daffy held on to.
Has to be a free.
Off the ground, Murphy goal.
Missed.
No, didn't get his foot to it. He's having one of those days, Murphy. He's only playing in his second game, but he's had one early on in his career. But gee, wasn't Daffy unlucky? Kerrison hanging on forever.
The umpire seemed to have a good look at it.
It's amazing stuff as Krasiska prepares to kick it back into play for the Magpies. 3-6 plays 2-4. Krasiska goes short, finds Kerrison. Only about 10 metres away from the goal square. Kerrison goes longer and wider. Very close to the line it goes over in front of Damien Monkhorst and Tony Shaw. And we'll have a throw in right half forward for the Tigers. Be 2 kicks from their goal. Greg Deere at the back, gets his right arm to it. Rogers overruns it. Buckley with balance, but couldn't get the successful hand pass away. Bauer, 50 metres out. Bauer goes for goal. It's in the square. Edwards couldn't take the mark. It slipped through his hands for a behind to Richmond. Stuart Edwards, a chance gone begging. 3 goals, 7 to 2-4. We've got 10 minutes left in the second quarter. A goal each to Richmond and Collingwood in this second quarter.
Krasiska, Gale and Monkhorst. Broderick, well done. Outside 50, goes for goal. Right there to behind. 3-8 to 2-4. Some changes coming up from the bench.
Yeah, Alan Richardson's come on for Stephen Ryan, and Miranda is back. We're waiting to be interchanged or interchange or something. I just wonder whether it'll be a Justin Murphy. He seems to be just trying to force a little bit. Perhaps a 5-minute spell on the bench at allowing him just to settle down a bit, a player in his second game.
3-8 to 2-4, McGuan. Third time he's taken a short pass from Krasiska.
When are we going to see someone penalised for that?
McGuan to half-back. Monkhorst, Gale. Monkhorst too good that time. The big monkey. Been a great player for Collingwood, to centre wing. Sanderson trying to one-hander. Campbell against him. Knights again a free kick against him. Deere coming off the veranda.
Well, with Deere off, you would expect that Edwards would go onto the ball again. Perhaps Gale.
Sanderson back in the team. Good pass to Shaw. Rocker probably too far away. McGuan, very good in this situation. Brown, little chip, excellent. James, tucked away in the right forward pocket. He kicked Collingwood's first goal today in the opening term. Terrific crowd here now. James's kick is excellent. Well, say excellent, missing them behind, but gee, not a bad kick off the boot. 1-1 for James, and the Maggies crawl up to 2-5, and Richmond a 3-8.
Well, it's been a real battle for the respective forward lines to come to grips with the difficult conditions prevailing at the MCG. As Turner kicks in for the Tigers, he goes to the far side of the ground. Again, pretty good distance. The ball belted back in the Nathan Buckley direction. His kick across his body wasn't too bad. Maxfield grabbed by Francis. Tony Free gets the handball to Bond. Back it goes to Broderick. Broderick has a bit of a look and kicks it out near the wing. Well done by Bauer. Lovely little hand pass, finds Matthew Knights doing some good running in towards the forward line, and the mark has been taken by Miranda. Miranda is at left half forward. He kicks in towards centre half forward. Excellent mark. Good jump, well judged, and Rogers has taken it between centre half forward and full forward, about 35 metres out, and pretty well straight in front.
And Matthew Knights was the architect of that move. He was the player that brought it through midfield. He appears to have a new opponent in Mick McGuan. He started on Gavin Brown. He burnt him off with a 10-possession first quarter. And Mickey McGuan just appears to be struggling at the moment. I know he's getting plenty of touches, but he's not covering the ground.
Well, important kick for Rogers personally, and it looks as though it's pretty good to goal. So Rogers kicks his first goal for the day, and Richmond, well, they get away to 4-8 to 2-5, an advantage of 15 points.
Well, this will figure in Mark of the Day highlights next week. Rogers once again shows that he's a pretty good shot at goal.
15-point margin of the Melbourne Cricket Ground, 4-8 to 2-5. Late in the second quarter. Gale goes running hard at Moncourse. Brown held up by Knight. Shaw's handball away to Christian. A quick kick. Getting underneath it was Tape, who played a brilliant first quarter.
And a point of interest at that bounce, Knights forced the issue by going and manning up on Gavin Brown. Mick McGuan wanted to be on him, so they had a 2-1 situation.
Watson's handball a bit loose. Shaw to Brown, goes to ground, caught. Play on court. Richmond are at Collingwood at the moment. Wright and Broderick. And the Tigers won a little moral battle there. They held it up. And if they get the next goal before half-time...
Thought the umpire had swallowed his whistle there, Johnny Russo.
Thought there might have been a Collingwood free underneath all that.
No, I reckon Brown was lucky he never got penalised.
Well, Richmond free then. Gale goes with Christian. Well done by Gale. To Daffy. Daffy to the goal square. Mark to Murphy.
That's better. That's what we saw last week. Good boy.
17 years of age. Baby face. 5 goals in his debut against the Bombers. He's about to kick his first, and this will be the biggest margin so far of the match.
Jeez.
They've pinched to break the Tigers. 5-8 to 2-5.
Bruce, I just think the forward line for Richmond now just looks a bit better. Murphy seems to be more comfortable when he isn't competing for the high balls with Stuart Edwards. Now, the injury to Deere, Edwards has gone up the ground. He's now at centre half forward. Gale's gone into the ruck, and Murphy's left one out. He's a tremendously talented high mark, and if the ball hits the ground, not many players will be able to go with him. Krasiska's not a bad matchup for him, actually.
Ball back in the centre, and Richmond 21 points in advance of the Magpies. Campbell kicks quickly with the left foot. Well done by Hassel. He made it for himself, then put right under a little bit of pressure. Back goes right to try and make amends. Gets the sweeping hand pass out into the path of Brown. Brown's kick across his body. Not quite making it there was Sanderson. And the ball is forced over. No, a free kick to Collingwood. Maybe a little bit of jumper grabbing, or the umpire indicating that it was over the shoulder. And the free kick goes to Francis. He goes in towards Christian. Drops what he should have taken. Richmond, Bruce has already mentioned, are right at the Magpies. Here goes Francis trying to make something out of nothing. And his kick goes across the half-forward line. A Away goes Edwards and Monkhorst. Monkhorst ducking and weaving. Gets away from Campbell. Back to Richardson. Richardson in the direction of Rocker. Couldn't take the mark. Got his left foot at it. And missed. Big build-up. Very little result for the Maggies. 2-6 plays 5-8. 20 points the lead for Richmond. And there's 5 minutes left in the second term.
Turner to bring her back in. 5-8 to 2-6. Brown couldn't cut it off. It was a good kick, wasn't it? Measured perfectly.
Brilliant kick, Bruce.
Kellaway, that's a wobbly one. Gale will take it. Couldn't quite hold it. Knights, Bauer, Rogers. Too slow. Much too slow. Wright brings him down. Play on call. McGuan, an opportunity missed. Hassel away. Oh, free kick to Nash. Oh, wow.
Don't do anything silly, Richmond. You've got the ball. Just slight remonstrations are all that's necessary.
Well, the Tigers are pretty pumped
It's
up.
an awkward ship, but look at this.
Well, the doctor's signalling that the Richmond player is okay. There was no need for it though, Bruce.
No, but I think it was awkward more than anything else, don't you? From Houlihan's point of view.
Yeah, he had the bumper bar up. I don't think he went with him. He did make connection with the forearm, but there wasn't a malicious elbow as perhaps the Tiger players thought.
It's going to come back.
I think Lee Matthews will be looking forward to the half-time siren. It's very difficult to stop a side momentum as the Tigers have got going at the moment.
Campbell short, it's got him.
It's amazing that, you know, if you can't get a flow on and the opposition get a little bit of a break, it doesn't matter what you try, Jared. You know, they could be going for another 5 or 6 hours and they may never kick a bundle of goals.
This has felt like that in my old days with Melbourne a few times, haven't I?
Campbell from about 45 metres. In fact, he kicks it right on the 50. Good kick, it's a goal. Well, this break now, Jared, is quite significant. 6-8 to 2-6 is 26 points.
Time there's the score. Richmond 6-8 to Magpies 2-8. We pick it up in the third quarter. Just 9 minutes remaining and it's still 6-2.
The Ruckman go at it again. Monkhorst, but up over the top was Broderick. Tried to tap it clear. Daffy gets it down to Tony Free. Free's kick to full forward. Gale couldn't take the mark. Christian. No, a free kick against Murphy. It'll go to Brasiska.
He just gave him a shove out. Brasiska doing very well in defence.
Good looking kick, gives Christian the run of it. Rogers and Brown try to get into the action. Rogers, well done. He's had a good quarter. Should have got a free kick perhaps. Brown over the top. Now they go over the top of Brown and hold it up.
I thought it was a great second effort by Gavin Brown to get up off the ground and lunge and bring his Richmond opponent to the ground.
Pretty good effort by Rogers too.
Yes, there's been a good duel between those two. Those hit-outs as well with Monkhorst on top. Deer off the ground again. Gale gets that one. Rogers, a bounce. He's having an effect on this game now, Rogers. To full forward. Murphy in the middle. Krasiska. Daffy went too early. Richardson to Watson. Swings it wide to Hassel. The Collingwood defence is standing up very well. Hassel comes away. Goes towards Francis and ricochets away. Well played by Bauer. Then it'll give to Broderick. Broderick from 55 with a high ball. Kerrison, Nay score goes very high. Kerrison, good mark.
Well, I think the Tigers have got to try another option at full forward, perhaps move Brendan Gale down there. They're peppering away there with getting no results.
Murphy really out of sorts, isn't he, the 18-year-old?
Oh, you can't do that, big fellow. Neil has come back onto the ground. Miranda's been removed.
Lured in to the centre. Broderick was almost loose to go away, decided not to. Now Gale is the target. He's going to hit him too. Oh, Brendan had to hold it. Christian tries to break the tackle. He does. Goes back to Krasiska, who sweeps a high, slow one to Brown. Brown to McGuan. Collingwood are building. McGuan out towards Francis. Well done by Bond. Runs it to the boundary line. Collingwood fans say deliberate. What about giving us a free kick?
They're letting themselves down, though, the Pies. Their delivery off the half-back line has been fairly ordinary. Neil going to full forward. We saw a minute ago John Hassel kick into the centre, which grubbed, and was another turnover, but the Tigers just can't put the nails in the coffin.
On the other hand, Collingwood yet to score in this third term.
Have they got it in their full forward area?
Well, I think they've probably had it across here a couple of times, centre half forward. But that Richmond defence, I know that I've mentioned about the conditions probably being set up for defenders with the swirling breeze.
And Monkhurst has been moved, it was Rocker's been moved out to centre half forward, and Houlihan's in the square for the Pies.
Bowers had a pretty good third quarter. He kicks Richmond up towards full forward. Well done, Christian, running back with the flight of the ball. And he's taken a half a one-hander, if that's possible. Graham Wright marks at centre half back, looks to play on. Now forced to go back to the outer wing area where Brown takes the mark, gets the handball over the top to Sanderson. He in turn could have gone short, but elected to kick blindly up towards full forward. Rocker got his left hand to it, was ineffective. Away goes Turner. Turner into the centre of the ground. Good vision. He finds Campbell. Tigers can maybe mount something out of this. Campbell goes long into the left forward pocket region. The kick not too bad, and Brendan Gale, if you'd have made an extra half a yard, you could have nearly grabbed that with both hands. And if you have a look at this replay, you'll be even further crook on yourself. Left forward pocket for Richmond, boundary throw in 45 metres from their goal, and Brendan Gale to do the ruck work up against Christian. 6 goals 12 to 2 goals 8. Away goes Krasiska, a high kick. And it's knocked over eventually. Wayne Campbell and Gavin Brown.
But you made a good point about the way that that ball was approached by Gale. It wasn't like a player or a boxer that knows he's got the opposition on the ropes and he's just going to give him that 1 or 2 extras and watch him go to the canvas.
And perhaps with the kick that came in earlier, where he got his both hands to and couldn't quite hold on to, and he missed that as well. So that's Murphy and Francis. Now Matthew Knights gets involved. Nothing much happening there, just boys trying to assert themselves on a football field. Monkhorst, who's dominated the ruck contests. The ball forced forward for Collingwood, but a mark taken by Turner. And he's another no-frills defender, Scott Turner.
Well, having a very good game.
7 kicks, but more importantly, making it difficult for the Collingwood forwards to get their hands on it.
Monkhorst underneath it. She's playing a game, the big monkey. 7 marks, 10 kicks. 6 handballs. He's been very good to centre half forward. Big fly was from Rocker. Off the ground, Maxfield. Buckley, Maxfield, free. Kerrison, Maxfield didn't fall over, it was important. Neiled, Kerrison, and Richmond forced it about 50 or 60 metres from the first contest away from the Collingwood goal. Not a goal scored after 20 minutes of football in this third quarter. And that is going to help Richmond no end. There's still 4.5 goals in front. Wright breaks the tackle. Kick under pressure. McGuan tries to break through. Can't do it. Bowers been good. Around the body to centre half forward. Murphy held up. Krasiska's had a very good third quarter. To Francis. Can Collingwood set something up? Francis, 1 bounce. Left foot towards Rocker. Turner and Rocker. Rocker used his body pretty well that time. It's still in play. Sanderson. Handball. Bit slow. Turner's having a very good game. Free kick to Rogers, surely. Not paid, doesn't matter. Naish gets very good distance to half forward. Gale and Christian. Bouncing ball. Watson. Gale, can he knock it forward? Can he knock it on again? Neiled. Daffy should kick a goal. He has. What a body blow that should be. 7-12 to 2-8. If they can't win from here, the Tigers, they've got Collingwood on the ropes.
And you have to go down to the half-forward line for the Collingwood to see where they lost that. It was a very poor piece of football by Sanderson. Just as poor attempt at the mark by Rocker. It went down to the Tigers. He brought it back in on the win and a goal at Daffy.
Well, John Northey looking still as those great concerns. Brendan Gale just got his foot to it, enough to carry to Tony Free. Free's kick towards full forward. Richmond mark, Neil.
That was always going to be a problem for Collingwood because Neil's on a midget. He's got about 6 inches on Kerrison, and anything that was floating in high, you would have to think he had have an advantage.
Well, I think there was a game down at Geelong when he was playing with the Cats where he kicked about 3 goals in 1 quarter of football. Up at full forward, played a lot of football in defence, so he knows how to kick goals, and that one goes straight through the centre. So all of a sudden, it was mentioned, Bruce mentioned, I'm sure, just a few minutes ago, that we'd gone goalless in this third term. In the last 2 minutes, maybe, Richmond have kicked 2 goals.
And good exit from the centre by Free, straight down the middle. And you saw the height advantage there from Neil. There's not much Matthews can do about it because many of his taller players, key position players, are sitting in the grandstand with the rest of us.
Well, Mark Neil was pretty happy with that. And it gives Richmond a very, very good break now. 60 plays 20. Monkhorst bashes it clear only as far as Rogers. He's taken to the ground by James. And the umpire will call for a bounce. Just forward of the wing, between wing and centre half forward for the Magpies. They still haven't scored in this third quarter. So that fade out of Richmond's, Gerard, pretty well non-existent. The Tigers, Murphy over the top. Bauer could cap off a great quarter, but misses to the left-hand side. I reckon Bauer's probably had about 7 or 8 kicks in this third term. He's been very good.
Buckley to full forward for Collingwood. Callaway going all the way with him.
41-point margin. It's a mighty lead, isn't it? At 8-13 to 2-8. Krasiska, Richardson. Collingwood have got to kick 7 goals to nothing to win. Watson. They've kicked 2 goals and haven't kicked a goal since the 9-minute mark of the second quarter. Shaw gave it to McGuan. James is outnumbered. Maxfield runs it out of play. Collingwood saying, well, we've had a couple of deliberates against us today. What about that one? Here's Maxfield. In the pocket. Free kick. Oh, no, against Turner to Rocker. Hanging on, the umpire says. Turner says, was it me hanging on or was he holding my arm? Collingwood needed a break, didn't they? They had to get something from somewhere. Rocker's got to have to kick the goal. We've got 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Collingwood haven't scored in this term. Rocker's kick. It's not a goal. It's a behind. 2 goals, 9 Collingwood. Richmond 8-13. And after kicking 20 goals in the first 4 matches this year, Rocker's managed 11, including today, in his last 7. It's not a very good strike rate from a full forward who kicked 73 last year. Edwards out wide. Loose man created for Richmond. Campbell, who's been pretty good all day. He's got a couple very short. Decides to go long from centre wing. Probing kick. Gale was there. Hassel's handball okay. Christian, you've got to say this Collingwood defence has been very good. Richmond kicked 2 goals in 2 minutes, but other than that, Collingwood have stood up brilliantly. Wright's kick out wide. The big monkey chasing hard. Edwards with him. It's near the boundary line. It's out of play. At left half forward, Collingwood attacking.
Well done.
A minute to go.
Well done by Stuart Edwards. He's a lumbering type, but he just kept that Damien Monkhorst there, didn't he?
A couple of old steeple chasers running.
Oh, yes, but by gee, that's the sort of spirit that you like to see, I'm sure, because it indicates that every one of them are having a real red-hot go at it. Tony Shaw tries to get it out. Monkhorst gets around and then forced to kick with the left foot, but it's short. And the mark is taken by Callaway, who's been very disciplined on Nathan Buckley. He goes wide, player on his own, Broderick, runs away, then kicks down towards half forward. Murphy being held onto, was he? Or Broderick dumped after he kicked the ball.
I think Gavin Brown gave the shove after he disposed of the ball.
Murphy's too far out to score, but he'll certainly get it to within distance. No mark. Naish off the ground. It's going to roll through for a goal. Naish, well done.
Collingwood goalless that quarter. In fact, the Pies managed just 2 behinds. Richmond well in charge going into the last term. Let's take a look at some highlights.
With the bounce, he's 70 metres out. Tries a long one. Krasiska, bad bounce. Gale gets rid of a couple. Chance now. Rogers is going to kick a goal. That's it. Shut the gate. His second goal. Since the 9-minute mark of the second term.
I mean, we knock up Bruce saying about how teams have just got to show a bit of character and not get buried into the dirt. And Collingwood, a great football club, they've got to show a hell of a lot of their character now in the next 20 minutes. Hassel comes away from full back, gets the handball. Sanford in turn goes to Buckley. Buckley a long way from goal. A few ironical cheers there, I detected. And a mark taken by Monkhorst close to the goal square.
The big fellow's played this role up the forward line on many occasions.
He goes for goal and puts it through for a Collingwood goal.
You've mentioned 4 good Collingwood players in about 2 minutes, and they're trailing by 8 goals. Here's Knights. Outside centre half forward. Neild and Ryan. Oh, too easy. He might resurrect his footy career here today, Neild.
Tell you what, he's nearly got the perfect record. 3 marks. This will be his 3rd kick, could be his 3rd goal.
From 20 metres out, Neild. It's got it.
Hassel's handball goes over the top. Sanford back to Hassel. Hassel's short pass is effective. The mark is taken by Watson. Watson can go short to McGuan. McGuan off the left foot. Not bad distance. It may float through for a goal. I think it has. Good kick, Mickey McGuan. Richmond defence has been, well, nothing short of exemplary. 4-11 for Collingwood in nearly a full game of AFL football. Richmond go forward again. Campbell short kick. And the mark has been taken by Neild once again. Can he keep the perfect record? Oh, geez, not a bad kick. It's a beautiful kick. It's a goal.
And the Tigers are celebrating tonight after a victory by 66 points. Neild, the leading goal scorer, with 4 goals. Houlihan reported by 2 umpires for striking Chris Naish to the face. And the crowd of 61,900 brought attendance at the MCG in the last week at 3 events to over 200,000.
The 1994 AFL Premiership League Ladder, brought to you by Foster's.
The Eagles on top by a game from North, who are a further game